Greetings ladies and gents, and welcome to this patch video for Thief Lord taken from the website Royal Road. In this video we'll be doing chapters 45 and 46, and as always I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider subscribing. Chapter 65, Sent Back. What do you have there? Show it to me, Lucilla says as she extends her hand, a curious look on her face. I hand over the necklace I looted off the dead body of Fabian Shirebagon, the inconspicuous-looking metal chain pulsing with a dark magic. Lucilla eagerly yanks it out of my hand, inspecting it closely as her hand slowly caresses it. This is very intriguing. Where did you get this? I sense a foul magic at play. Nasty stuff, she mutters the last part, not once taking her eyes off of it. Shrugging, I don't really see a problem to lie about it. I looted it off the remains of a dead bard. A dead bard? Who? She asks pointedly. His name was Fabian Shirebagon, a wealthy bard and a gambler. He was supposed to be buried a few days ago, and I heard a rumor that he was buried with his most prized possessions on his person. So, naturally, I snuck into the crypt below the city's cathedral, killed his niece and nephews who were guarding the coffin, and voila! Here we are. Oh, I should probably mention he turned into a ghoul, a dangerous creature that used necromancy. A ghoul using magic, that's absolutely unheard of, Lucilla mutters, her thoughts starting to wander. I wonder. A bright blue light envelops her hand in the necklace, blinding me for a moment. Freck! Warn me when you do that, I shout, rubbing my eyes. My vision turns spotty, and it takes me several seconds of intense blinking before I am able to make out her shape. The Grand Master Enchantress is still cradling the necklace, apparently deep in thought. Well, that's incredibly rude. I'm getting a bit tired of feeling like the backseat driver in everything that goes on around here. Am I ever supposed to feel like the protagonist of my own adventure? I'm talking to you. I raise my voice, snapping my finger in front of her face. Jolting in surprise, Lucilla's hazy eyes wander towards me, blinking once before she realizes I'm still here. Yep, definitely rude. Oh, sorry about that. This is a very interesting item that you have gotten your hands on. If you are willing, I would like to offer you a hefty sum of gold for it. I narrow my eyes. I think I would like you to tell me what it is before I sell it. Oh, of course, she says, waving her hand. Cursed necklace of withering decay and vitality, legendary, plus 20% maximum health, per level gain plus 2 endurance, soulbound, cannot be unequipped, special, wearer must consume the flesh of a sentient species once every 24 hours. Failure to do so will reduce the maximum health by 20% for every 24 hours until death. Your corpse will turn into a powerful ghoul upon your death, which must be killed before you can respawn. Whoa, I guess I was right about the cursed items work. I didn't expect them to pack this kind of punch though. That boost to endurance is insane. Any tank in the game would kill to have this item, even with its demerits. It's an interesting item, and the requirement to devour flesh of a sentient every day is definitely almost unforgiving. I reckon only full-time players like myself are the only ones capable of fully exploiting its uses. It's even more difficult for irregular players as killing most sentients comes with a penalty to renown. The respawn thingy is the scariest part of the item though. What if your guild goes deep inside a raid dungeon when they die? It could take days for someone to kill a ghoul. The item is ridiculously overpowered if handled correctly, but I am not sure most people would dare to equip it. There are also those crazy who would risk it though. Question is, am I one of them? It's tempting, very much so, but I don't really need that much of endurance. It's helpful, sure, but I need it. Since I play 20 hours a day, almost all the enemies I kill are sentients. The demerits don't really affect me that much. Sure, dying would suck, but I don't really plan to ever die. The only real downside I see here is that it takes up an item slot. An item slot that I would love to fill with a charisma or luck-boosting item, like my current necklace. I'd say equipping it would probably be worth it, though. There is only one thing that gives me pause. How much are you willing to pay? She gives me a sly smile. For you, little thief lord, I'll be generous. 200 gold. My jaw drops. 200 from an NPC? Holy crap, that's penny-pinching cheapskates never pay more than a fraction of what the item is worth. For an NPC to offer me 200 gold, selling this to a player could net me a small fortune. I knew legendary items were valuable, but for a cursed item, this goes beyond my wildest expectations. I'm selling this. Question is, how? As a villain, I don't have access to the auction house or any other regular channels to sell items. Perhaps the black market auction is an option, but with only 136 eligible customers, maybe more is a factor if I only use the other villain classes. The potential buyers for the item is minimal at best, at least at these early stages of the game. Maybe Allison or my dad can sell it for me. That should be possible. The potential question that would rise up was a little concerning. I'm not sure if I would put myself in this situation, so maybe I'll just save the option as a last resort. Perhaps I can sell it directly to Anna. The Dark Pegasus Guild is incredibly wealthy, and with this item, it could give them an edge as their competition in future raids. With my odd relationship with Anna, I might even be able to score a better price than average. Maybe auction it off anonymously as an off-game website. I need to think about this. Sorry, Lucilla, I think I'm not going to rush into this one. It's a powerful item, after all. Oh, this offer won't last forever, you know, she smiles, batting her eyelashes. I chuckle. I'm sure it doesn't. Still, don't want to rush anything, though. I could kill you for it, she says a bit more coldly. Oh, she wants to play it like this, does she? Two can play this game, and risk ruining your reputation like that. The item is valuable, but not valuable enough for you to lose a large chunk of your customer base over it, I'm sure. I say evenly, meeting her steel, hard gaze. She raises an eyebrow, seemingly amused. Oh, and he bites. A nice quality to have. She smiles. You're a sly little rascal, thief lord. I like your guts. Reminds me of my youth. She chuckles and hands back my necklace. Do contact me first if you ever come across any more items like these. I'm definitely interested in buying. Now take care, little thief lord. We shall meet again. And with a wave she disappears through the door, leaving me alone with my lieutenants. I am sure we will, I mutter, smiling at the closed door in front of me. I learned a lot from this meeting, and it helps forge a path ahead. There are so many things I want to do, and I feel invigorated to think about the possibilities that I have going forward. One of the things for certain, though, I need to grow in strength. Fast. The other thief lords have a massive head start, and I need to do my best to catch up. Heading towards the door, I throw a glance across my shoulder. We have a lot of work to do. We make good time heading back to the hideout. It should only be a couple hours until Allison and her dad log in for the first time. So I see little reason to waste precious time waiting for them. I still have a few jobs I can perform today. Since I now have 2 lieutenants, then that means that I can now use every underling during jobs at once, since the 8 underlings per lieutenant limitation won't kick in. I can also have them split up and perform 2 jobs at once, which is a great boon for the efficiency standpoint. Since I still have a lot of under-leveled underlings, and Viper is still fresh at being a commander, I decide to split my veteran underlings evenly and have her tackle an easy job, while Cobra handles the medium-rated one. With all my underlings safely at the door, I find myself with surprisingly little to do. I probably should have tagged along with Viper to see how it goes, but she's probably going to be fine. Just like Cobra, Viper has been there with pretty much every single job I've performed so far, and should know what to do. I guess I'll just spend a couple more hours leveling up my trap-making skills. I'm getting closer to leveling them up again, and I would love to see the look on Odin's face when... Kenwin Smyton writes, "You piece of crap, you scamming piece of crap, your traps are freaking useless." Ryan Ornstabberton writes, "Huh?" Kenwin Smiteman writes, "Don't give me that crap. Give us back our gold or I'll find your real life and smack the living crap out of you." You have ignored Human Paladin Kenwin Smiteman level 12. You have removed Human Paladin Kenwin Smiteman level 12 from your friends list. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, May I ask why your wife is getting his panties in a twist? Gregorius Iron writes, What? Who? Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Your friend, Kenwin, he's writing me a series of obnoxious messages and threats. Gregorius Iron writes, Oh, for the love of God, that piece of crap is not my friend. Please, just ignore him. Sorry about that. It's just, well, we've run into a bit of trouble with our hunt for the thief lord. Think you can help? Oh, that sounds bad. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, What's the problem? The trap should work perfectly fine against an enemy with perception attribute below 25. And even then, it would take quite some skill not to trip it. Gregorius Iron writes, It's not that. Some random guy found the sewers and leaked it online. There are tons of players swarming around the place, tripping all the traps we set. Do you have any idea about what we can do? Ryan Ornstaberton writes, What? It's leaked? Ah, crap. I knew the day would come, but it's sort of a tough pill to swallow, nonetheless. Especially on the same day I figured out my super-secret fence syndicate wasn't quite as big a secret as I thought it was. It's a good thing I recruited all those beggars when I did, after all. Goodbye, easy experience. Gregorius Irongrad writes, Yeah, I know, right? There goes our grinding zone. Still, do you have any ideas of how we can find the thief lord? Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Several, but I suppose none of them are applicable now. If the sewers are swarmed with players, it would be mighty stupid for the thief lord to be anywhere near that place. Gregorius Ironguard writes, Crap. Thought so. I guess we have to come to a clean to the guild. Oh no. Initiate evasive maneuvers. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, I don't really know why you didn't tell them in the first place, but are you sure you want to tell them now? Almost a week after your freck-up. I'm not sure that they would take it so well. I'm just saying, perhaps you should just forget about the whole thing. Gregorius Ironguard writes, That sounds like one hell of a loose thread. If they figured this out later, they might punish us even more. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, How are they going to find out? As far as I know, it's only you, me, and the dimwit Kenwin that knows about it. Gregorius Ironguard writes, You forget about the thief lord. He knows. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Yeah, but who is he going to tell? I sincerely doubt he'll have a conversation with your guild about how he killed you. He's probably forgotten about the entire thing for all we know. Gregorius Ironguard writes, Probably, but there's always you. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Dude, really, I don't care. You paid me, and from where I'm standing, we're cool. Don't worry about it. Gregorius Ironguard writes, Thanks, I guess. I suppose that means our business is done here. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Seems like it. Do give me a heads up about the thief lord, though. Consider my interest piqued, and who knows, I might be able to help. You seem like a pretty cool dude, and I don't mind being friends, you know, as long as you keep that other dipshit away. Gregorius Ironguard writes, Will do. Talk to you later. I guess that worked out all right. A pity I didn't get to milk the opportunity a bit longer, but it shouldn't matter much. It's a shame that I lost the hunting grounds, but to be honest, I don't really need them that much. My new goal is to farm infamy points, and I get more of them doing jobs than hunting critters below the city. I'm going to miss the easy opportunity to quickly level my underlings, but for the most part I've outgrown the need for the sewers. I'll still use it if necessary though, maybe one day when I'm powerful enough. Besides, I have a couple of ideas on other sources of gaining experience. The introduction of the latest PvP patch still hasn't left the back of my mind, and I think it's time to finally do something about it. I would have preferred it if my pursuers eventually gave up on their chase, but I can't hide from them forever. I'm not sure how the other 5 thief lords do it, but I have no doubt in my mind that Arya and the Dark Pegasus Guild have put measures in place to hide them from the general public. Since I don't have a 1,000-player strong support system, I am basically floating around on my luck alone, and with all of that won't last forever. Since revealing my existence is only a matter of time, then I prefer coming out of hiding on my own terms rather than someone else's. Sooner or later, someone will spot me moving through the back alleys. It's a goddamn miracle that it hasn't happened already, actually. If I decide the time and place to make my existence known, I can at least steer my pursuers in the wrong direction for a time. Arya won't have enough manpower to search the entire city, and the only way she'll find me and my hideout is if she physically follows my underlings, which is extremely, oh crap. That actually isn't unlikely at all. There are absolutely nothing preventing a high-level rogue from following a squad of my underlings returning from a job. Crap, another problem, I groan, rubbing my temples. This hideout business is seriously hard. I wonder how the hell the 5 other thief lords haven't been caught yet. Jesus. And now I am absolutely certain that they have outside help. There are so many variables to take into consideration. Frick. Okay, Ryan, this isn't an insurmountable problem. If they can do it, then I'm sure there's nothing preventing you from doing it the same. You've overcome more difficult hurdles in the past, and there's no reason that this is the thing that finally puts the last nail in your dream's coffin. If you know about the problem, you also have room to fix it. I only need to come up with some foolproof countermeasures, something that will make things too difficult for the enemy to follow. But what? I need to think about this, do some research. Also, I should read up on the details surrounding the sewer exposition, maybe also take a leak. It's been a while. Lifting my helmet off, I immediately hit by a sudden urge to pee. Whoa, good timing, Ryan. Exiting the capsule, I quickly jump across the living room and tip my toes, reaching the bathroom with only moments to spare. Releasing a breath of relief as pinging noise draws my attention to the living room. Shaking thrice, I thoroughly wash my hands before I head back towards the capsule, grabbing the cell phone lying beside it. No, a text from Ellison. 1634. Best sister ever, XOXO. If I catch you changing this, you die, little brother. Hey, Squirt, our capsules are hooked up and we're just about to log in. Shoot us a message as soon as you see this. My gamer tag is SuperSys69er. See you there. 1636. Best sister ever, XOXO. If I catch you changing to this, you die, little brother. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, if I don't see this message from you in 3 hours, I'll personally drive over to your house and beat the snot out of you. Love you, little brother. Kisses. Oh, frick me sideways. End of chapter. Chapter 66. Carefully constructed lies. I am not even remotely ready for this. Not even a little bit. I mutter as I start pacing back and forth. It's an odd thing to say considering all the stress I've been under during these last 3 months, but I am much rather fight off an entire Dark Pegasus guild in nothing but my undergarments than have my family hanging around me in game. Especially my sister. It didn't even take me more than a few seconds for messaging her until she demanded I meet them, in the middle of the noob zone no less, because where else would she want to meet? It's when they're stuck for the next night or two anyway. Luckily for me, I know a way inside. Unluckily for me, I can't bring any of my fighters with me as they would just get slaughtered attempting to cross into the zone through the only gate connected to the peninsula. The rest of the city I'm really uncomfortable with running around without just muscle, but it's not too bad. Apart from my one perception spec player at the gate, there shouldn't be anyone with perception high enough to threaten my identity within these walls. I could get unlucky, of course, but my ring would at least give me 10 minutes of warning to run off and hide. One of the more disappointing parts of the coming here means that I can't stay back at the hideout and direct my underlings. Seeing as I now have 2 lieutenants, the 4 agents just don't provide enough jobs for them to share during the day. They have to work together performing the last heist, but at least this one is ranked hard difficulty and could really benefit from having 2 lieutenants there anyway. Jeez, I didn't really expect that I would already need to recruit more beggars. To think that I was worried about recruiting too many of them a couple days ago. How silly life can turn out sometimes. At least I managed to pull off a lot of information from the internet. I held out on a slim hope, but I'm sad to say that the news about the hidden grinding zones beneath every major city with a population above 2,000 NPCs has spread far and wide. It's all over the news sites, forums, and Wikipedias already, which is impressive since it all originated from a seemingly anonymous forum post only 5 hours ago. One should never underestimate the power of information flow on the greatest social experiment on anarchy ever to be created, also known as the internet. It's a pity, but not unexpected. At least my search for ideas to lose my pursuers in the city paid off. I just need to make a few preparations, but that shouldn't take more than a couple of hours. That game is amazingly realistic and flexible in potential solutions to problems, and one can get really far with imagination alone. Just like a heavily enchanted steel grate I'm currently sneaking past beneath the noob district. With the help of my 2 swindlers, I'm getting into the noob zone as simple as getting out. As soon as I teleport past the grate, I rest my journey is uneventful. I did have a slight worry about Pug. The sleeping elite murder hobo who lives down here would be a nuisance, but even that turned out fine. Apparently, even the players who just started the game read forums, and the biggest obstacle I face is trying to not step on the filthy pile of rags that appears to be Pug's sleeping quarters. Its owner already long dead from roaming players. They're everywhere, it seems. I think I passed 6 players on the short 5-minute trip from the steel grate all the way up the alley behind Joe's Tavern. The player density down here is insane. Really. There is no way that there is enough experience to go around for more than 3 squads of players down here. Maybe 4 if you're pushing it. It's terribly inefficient otherwise. I digress. It's probably still better than doing social quests for 2 days straight, I suppose. Joe's Tavern, a weathered old building with a charming sign depicting a mug and an ale in the mouth of a gaping pig, looks exactly as it did 2 weeks ago. Not that I expected anything different. I'm sure it'll look exactly the same 200 years from now as well, assuming that the game is still running, that is. I enter through the back door for old time's sake and soon find myself in the sparsely populated building. Joe is standing at his customary spot behind the bar, wiping a mug with a dirty rag. You won't get any customers if you ignore all the health code violations you're ragging up, Joe. I chuckle as I pass him, heading for my customary corner booth. Freck off, kid, Joe grunts without stopping his futile cleaning project. Buy something or get the hell out of here. This ain't no charity. Sure. I'll just take a pint of ale in the cleanest mug you have, I say with a mock salute, throwing a couple coins on his tray. Deftly he snatches the coins out of the air. He grunts, "You'll drink whatever the frick I serve you." He reaches for a mug beneath the bar before he fills it with the keg that's resting on the countertop. The dense, white foaming leaks over the edge as he slams the mug onto the counter. "You can come over here and pick it up yourself because of that prissy attitude," he growls. "No problem, Joe. Don't expect any tips, though." I chuckle as I get up and retrieve it. Perhaps it's because our little meeting earlier, but Joe just doesn't really scare me as much anymore. Sure, he is powerful enough to kill me with the tip of his pinky, but after a week I've had, I'm pretty damn confident the man won't hurt me unless I'm physically attack him first. We're allies now, after all, fickle as our bond may be. I keep my eyes glued on the door while I gently sip from my ale. To be safe, I place the swindler near the back of the building ready to trade places with me in case something bad were to happen. I may be paranoid, but being paranoid is a virtue when everyone is out to get you. It doesn't take long until the front door opens and a beautiful elven woman enters, followed by a scruffy-looking human man. I only need to give them both a single glance before I wave them over. Really, can those two be more predictable? Who else but those two would choose to play as a Scandinavian Disney princess and the most ordinary-looking human to ever walk upon the face of the earth? Hell, even Cobra's character has more distinct features. How did Dad even manage to do that? Is it some super-secret special skill only available to middle-aged men with grumpy attitudes? Jesus, he should ask for his money back. Oh, come on, Ryan, seriously. Allison smirks as she slides into the booth opposite me. You're a damn midget. Wow, as if picking on you wasn't easy enough to begin with. It's called a halfling, I say, and for your information, I chose it because of its racial traits are perfect for my class. She snorts loudly. Looking like that, I can hardly be worth it. Ignoring the digital ignoramus, I take a deep swig of my ale. It's nice to see you, Dad. My dad nods in return, his eyes firmly locked on the mug in my hand. Got any more of those? I don't seem to have any money. I chuckle. Of course. Hi, Joe, can I have another mug of ale for my friend over here? Hey, what gives buy one for me too? Allison shouts as she reaches across the table and punches my shoulder. You should treat your favorite sister with respect. She huffs, giving me a fake pout. I'll think about it, I smirk. If Allison has one redeeming quality, it's the fact that she can turn any awkward situation into an annoying situation, which is good. Awkward is 100 times worse than annoying. Annoyance breeds sarcasm. Sarcasm breeds interactions. Interactions breed enthusiasm. And enthusiasm breeds enjoyment, which in turn goes back to annoyance again at some point. It's a circle of family interaction. It's a real thing, you know. Look it up in a textbook on sociology. I dare you. Perhaps having them around won't be so bad as I feared. I feel like I just lost 30 seconds of interaction alone has helped me lower my shoulders and lessen my mental strain. Humans are social creatures by nature, and it feels good to bring some normalcy back to my solitary lifestyle. The two may not be experienced gamers with a lot to offer, but their presence alone helps tremendously. I can't help but wonder what they will accomplish in this game. High Elf Apothecary, Super Ch.65, Level 1. Human Warrior, Aaron Daniels, Level 1. I resist the urge to facepalm. Hard. Of course my dad used his real name, because why wouldn't he? Old people, am I right? At least Allison's choice of class is a tad more interesting, though. Apothecary, that certainly is an unconventional class. What brought that one on? Allison's lips strained at my question. Don't get me started. It's utter bullcrap, I tell you. I was a half mind to call customer support and give them an earful about the idiotic class system. Can you believe it? They have almost 150 different classes, and Apothecary is the only healing class that isn't based on religion, tree-hugging, or Satan worshipping. Like, are you freaking serious? One would think this backwater medieval game would have at least a handful of classes based on science. But no. They had to go the village bumpkin route. I mean, really, an apothecary isn't even a real doctor. She slams her hand on the table and her eyes narrowing as if she tries to stare a hole through me as if it's somehow my fault. It's not that bad though, is it? The class offers a lot of versatility and powerful abilities. I say, try my best to break eye contact with my crazy sister. No, I can't argue with that, she says through gritted teeth, but the most powerful skills cost crafting regions to use. It's a scam. Well, yeah, they do cost a bit, but that's only a few of the abilities, though. They should be more than makeup and cost in sheer power. You still have plenty of other skills you can use for free. I say, trying to calm her down before she turns it into my problem. That's not good enough, she says bluntly, her eyes narrowing. But say, little brother, you've been playing this game for a while now. Ah, crap, here we go. Which means you should have plenty of gold to help out your poor sister with a few purchases. She starts grinning. I don't think... Bah, papa! She interrupts me. You may be too proud to accept my money to pay rent, but I don't have such limitations when it comes to family, little brother. Her grin intensifies. So I appreciate your patronage in advance. Please take care of me. I give her a deadpan stare. No. Dad, Allison says in a sweet voice, the very same voice that Mom used to have whenever hell was about to break loose. Low blow, Allison. Ryan, be nicer to your sister. Dad chimes in from the side. Wait, where did he get that second ale from? And who paid for it? Seriously, I'm not paying for all of the damn expenses. Dad, stop that. You've already had 2. I shout while grabbing his raised arm. He waves me off. What? I paid for your breakfast the other day. You can spare a couple fake coins for an old man. Hey, waiter, one more, please. Oh, and do you have any food? I groan as I bury my face in my arms. I regret everything I said earlier. Having them here is a mistake. A catastrophe, even. Oh, come on, Ryan, stop sulking. Allison pats me on the head. Didn't you say that you came into a lot of money recently? Not enough to feed 2 gluttons. Don't sweat the small stuff, little brother. Why so serious? I thought you were following your dream here. If so, then why are you moping around so much? I sigh. It's not like that. I do have fun. It's just that I'm under a lot of pressure right now. She shrugs. Then tell us about it. Maybe we can help. You're up for that, right, Pops? Dad grunts in affirmation, working his way deeper into a third mug of ale, as well as a plate of boiled clams. I didn't even know Joe served food here. I let out a weak smile. Thanks for the offer, but it's something I have to deal with myself. I appreciate the sentiment, but my demons are out-leveling all three of us combined. Oh, I was meaning to ask about that. How come you're only level 14 after playing for a whole 3 months? I admit, I don't know much about this game, but that seems to be awfully, low, even for someone as incompetent as you, she smirks. That's a long story I'd rather not tell. I shake my head while reaching for boiled clams that I'm apparently paying for. Bottom line is I had to start from scratch a week and a half ago. I've run into a series of lucrative possibilities, but also twice the amount of problems. I'll handle it, though. I always do. She gives me a flat stare. Really, Ryan? You're dropping the biggest tease to end all teasers and then you won't elaborate. Seriously, not cool, bro. I snort. Let's just say it involved a villain. Villains? I heard about those. Dad chips in from the side. They're the bad guys in this game, right? Yeah, sort of, amongst many others. He gives me a rapt attention, which I find unusual. The only time Dad ever looks so serious when the topic of conversation is either work or bacon. Then that'll be my goal in this game, he says while nodding. Someone needs to arrest them. I groan, pinch my nose. It doesn't work that way here, Dad. You don't arrest anyone. You kill them for rewards, and they try the same for you in return. There is no such thing as true crime in this game. Just an opposite perspective to add excitement and variety. They break laws, don't they? Well, yeah. That settles it then. It's my sworn duty to uphold the law within Her Majesty's kingdom. But we're not even in England, I groan, letting my shoulders drop. Do you know what? Go do that. Have plenty of law-abiding quests over at the barracks. He grunts once before he nods, a rare smile on his face. I feel like he's being an idiot, but at least he seems happy. He did always love being a police officer, and if the game lets him relive old memories, then I say let him have fun with it. I just hope that we won't get too disappointed if he ever finds out that I'm playing one of the villains he seems to hell-bent on arresting. Another reason for me to keep my cover intact. So, little brother, Allison smiles, now that we're all together, how about we team up, defeat a dragon or something, and save ourselves a sexy princess? You know, you're not allowed to have sex with NPCs in this game, right? I ask, raising an eyebrow. Her jaw drops. What the frick, really? Why not? Then why the hell do they charge me 300 euros to play a stupid game? What a rip-off. I sigh. It's to keep the game's economy alive and prevent inflation. Since the game basically generates gold through killing monsters and completing quests, which can be traded for real money, the developers need a way to inject fresh capital into the game without crashing the economy. While paying 300 euros to play the game per month sounds like a lot, it really isn't when you realize the average nighttime player earns the equivalent of 2 to 250 gold per month from just playing the game. If you're efficient, you can basically play for free. Only a full-time hardcore player like myself can expect to earn any money by playing, and even then it's not a lot. I estimate an average full-time player staying in-game for approximately 16 hours per day can make around 8 to 900 euros per month, several times more if you risk playing as a villain or as one of the top levelers. If you add in the 10% cut the developers take for every time you convert your gold to real money or sell something on the auction house, you'll find that the developers have plenty wiggle room to keep the economy alive and well. It's actually pretty fascinating. I'm interrupted by a loud snoring noise coming from Allison. Seriously, Ryan, the question was rhetorical. Do I need to spell it out for you? I snort. It's not my fault for assuming that you're an idiot after Dad dropped you on your head all those times when you were a kid. Come here and I'll show you what it looks like when someone bumps their head on the floor repeatedly. I burst out laughing as Allison lunges across the table, her hands reaching for my throat. My dad grunts in annoyance but says nothing as he moves a plate of clams away from Allison's flailing limbs. Our small bout of affection is suddenly interrupted when the tavern door slams open. I tell you, Bryan, today's the day. I just know it. A familiar chip of voice spreads across the room. I turn my head and I watch the beautiful blonde aeromancer enter the bright smile on her face. My stomach drops as a series of horrifying thoughts spread across my mind. Oh God, why today of all days? What are the odds? Please just give up already, it's been a month. Bryan groans as he enters the bar behind her. You didn't have to come, you know. Anna chuckles, giving him a mocking smile over her shoulder. And miss out on it if you actually succeed. You would never let me hear the end of it. I'm in too deep to quit now, he says, shaking his head. Freck, 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 freck. I do my best to sink into my seat, praying that whatever in-game deity is listening, that they won't look too closely in our direction. I really don't want to deal with this cluster freck on my creation if Anna and my sister meet. All my carefully constructed lies blown away. Frick! Allison and my dad are the only two people in the world that could probably topple my house of cards, and I somehow managed to bring them all together under the same roof. Fricking brilliant idea, Ryan. I hold my breath as I watch Anna start accosting Joe with the usual Tibber tirade of complaints and smiles, while the grumpy old NPC spits insults her way. I watch with the interaction go on for several more minutes before Anna seems to sigh in defeat. Perhaps next time, she mutters, and no one in particular, and turns to leave. I release the breath of relief as I watch Anna's head turn towards the exit, a smirking Bryan at her heels. Holy crap, I can't believe my luck finally. Oh, she's pretty, my sister says loud enough for her voice to carry across the room. I throw her a horrified glance and my mind goes blank. Hearing Allison's voice, Anna turns her head, looking curiously in our direction. Her eyes widen as she sees me, quickly followed by her rising eyebrows when she spots Allison's hands tightly wrapped around my throat. Ryan, what are you doing here? End of chapter. And that, my friends, concludes this match video. If you enjoy the story, please don't forget to go and show the author some support. And if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below. The easiest way to support this channel would be to subscribe and share as much as possible to help this channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next video, and until then I hope you all keep well and safe. Cheers.